This is the Average to Savage podcast with Paul Guarino. Everyone and anyone, athletes, celebs, and much more.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Average Savage podcast. Our special guest today is Fitty, aka Billy Starkov. Billy, Fitty, how's it going?
I'm good. I'm not aka Billy. I'm aka fity.eth.
Well, I did the opposite. Well, appreciate you coming on. This is wild. We're doing a first, I don't even know what to call this, first interview with a virtual head NFT on your face.
Well, I hate to correct you, but ever since I got my Bored Ape back in November, I wake up hungry for bananas, and this is my face now.
All right, so you're the founder of Apocalyptic Apes. So tell me a little bit how you got into NFTs and then what made you want to start a project.
Well, that's a great question, Mr. PG. I got started in NFTs same way most people look at NFTs is like, what is this stuff? Why am I paying so much money for a picture that can be copied by somebody else? Makes no sense. And so I started dabbling with it. I got into my NFT community. I bought a project. I shouldn't probably name the name of it, but it's am I allowed to curse on the show?
Yep.
It was shit. I had a bunch of people saying, "Oh, I got the 3D glasses. I got this. I got the halo. I got the 3D eyes." And all of a sudden, I got the laser beams. And a week later, there's nobody in Discord, and the whole project was a rug. And it was really a bummer because I still have 50 of those crappy things in my wallet. Second project I got didn't do any better. Then I got into Pudgy Penguins. That did kind of Then I found a project called Omniforce. JR, who's one of my Bored Ape buddies, and I realized they built a great community. They had great people. Logan Paul got in there. I made about probably 30 to 40, 50, $60,000 on a $800 or $2,000 investment. I don't remember what it was. And I realized there's a future here and this really works. But what's missing here are the people that are running these projects have no business experience, no understanding what a project is, no understanding what a community is. And these are things I do in my everyday life in real estate. I buy properties, I sell properties. I am not a real estate agent, but I do my own development. And so what I did is I brought my own style into the NFTs, and I built communities and relationships. And I care about people. People are important to me. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're an athlete, a celebrity, or a person who just needs some help. I'll be there for you. And that's how I've been in my real life. And I realized if I can apply that here and make a safe environment for people where they don't feel like they're going to take a loss, we'll have a great project.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like what was the process of making your project? I know it goes in a lot. I don't know if you want to talk about it. I know you had an idea at first I don't know if I don't think you launched the first project that you thought of.
Yeah, so we started a project called Holy Guacamole with my artist. Actually, I started with another artist, and I was launching it, and I got my Bored Ape halfway through, and a lot of my artists kept drawing pictures of my avocados with these apocalyptic apes and lips, kind of like the picture behind me had these weird mouth and ears. And I showed it to some of my Bored Ape guys, and they said, "You know what, dude, you need to switch this stuff." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Because nobody apes into guacamole or avocados; they ape into apes. And so I called them up. I said, "Dude, I have great news and great news." He goes, "What's that?" I said, "We are going to start a new project. We're going to get rid of these avocados. Maybe we can feed them to the apes." He said, "No, apes don't eat avocados." I said, "Well, okay, well, maybe you could put it somewhere else." And he was really bummed out. He said, "I've already had a couple losses in my life." He did a couple other NFT projects that didn't work. I said, "Dude, I don't fail. I'm not going to fail. I will work my butt off to make sure this works. Let's get these apocalyptic apes off the ground. We will blow this thing up." We sold out Christmas morning. We have an amazing roadmap. We just launched our Queen Apes. We sold those out in 3 hours. And we're on our way to some really big things. We've got huge plans for our project.
Oh my God. Nice. And then, yeah, how did you find Haddy? Because he's a beast.
So he says I DM'd him. I remember him getting in touch with me when I was in the guacamole project. I don't know. We just found each other through Discord somewhere. And I remember he sent me some of his work and I looked at it and I wasn't doxxed at the time. And I immediately sent him my number or said, give me your number. I want to call you. And we talked till like 3 a.m. and I already knew we are going to do something. I just didn't know he was going to come into my project. And we are business partners. We're friends. I mean, he's amazing. He's just a good human being.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think that's the artwork attracted me to the project. I remember, I think it was back in December, and I got into a space rant. I don't even know how I was just space hopping, and I got into your space, and then that's how I learned about him. And then I minted some, and those were the first NFTs I ever minted. I bought a few on the secondary, but that was the first mints I got. I don't know if you knew that.
Did I remember you from day one? I remember your hat, your face. You're one of the first persons in my community that I connected with, gave you my phone number, and we both have a love of sports. So I dig talking to you, man.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate that. Yeah. And then yeah, I know you kind of touched on it before, but what's the future for Apocalyptic Apes?
The future for Apocalyptic Apes is really big. We've got music attached. We've got cannabis. We've got hemp. The whole story behind the apes is in 2021, we're all supposed to be in the apocalypse. And we kind of were. We had COVID, we had plastic masks, gas masks, people dying, people going through some chaotic things, kids not going to school, going to the market and spraying your shopping carts, wearing hazmat suits. I mean, it was a pretty crazy 3-4 years. So our whole mission with the apes, Apocalyptic Apes, and that's what stands behind us. We're here to do some good. We want to bring plastic replacement and clean up our oceans, clean up our air, clean up this world. In the last 3 or 4 years, I know people are pretty bummed out with COVID, but we've had a reset. We've had less school shootings. We've had less violence. We've had nature and oceans and less boats and less vehicles. So the air's cleaned up a little bit. So it was a world reset. And I feel like the apes have come here to clean that up. One of my business partners is Golden State Hemp and Roy from Click. And they have something really, really unique. When you buy those styrofoam meat trays from the market, those are completely toxic. It's a plastic ingredient. Those meat trays, what you get, fish, your chicken, and whatever you eat, usually Costco, Ralph's, whatever markets you have in your country, maybe Dan Murphy's if you're in Australia. And those meat trays are completely bad for you. They're just not good. That's why you have to put the paper underneath the chicken, the fish, or the meat. So if making those products out of hemp, you wouldn't need that paper. It would be completely safe. It would be completely unique, biodegradable, and people wouldn't get sick or poison toxins in their bodies. So we have the first patent technology with my partners right now to release that. We're going to be working on that. We were working on getting plastic bottles out of the oceans and out of our mouth. We're working on getting plastic straws, plastic cups. You go to Starbucks, they won't give you a plastic straw anymore. They'll give you a paper straw to drink your water, which is disgusting. But they'll give you a plastic straw stopper to put in your coffee, so your hot coffee can melt that plastic in your coffee so you can ingest that. So that's kind of the mission behind that. We also have music attached that's going to bring revenue streams. We've got staking, we've got metaverse. We have a huge roadmap. If you'd like to take a look at it or talk to us, we're usually in Twitter Spaces, or you could take a look at our website at apocalypticapes.com.
Yeah, for sure. And what advice would you give to NFT collectors / project, I guess, founders?
Good question. My advice changes daily. I think the 10,000 PFP collection with no utility is over. I think the cute monkeys and chihuahuas and porcupines and laser eyes without any kind of value to the people that are buying it are over. So you've got to create value, build your community, work really, really hard, have a roadmap built out before you start your project, have your art in place, really think about it. And the biggest advice I tell people, and most people can't answer that, would you mint your own project? And most of the projects I've spoken to that are reaching out to me for help. And I haven't really been able to help too many because I've been just so busy with our projects. They can't even answer me. So I asked somebody, would you make your own projects? They say, yes, of course. And I said, why? Usually they don't have an answer. One of the things I do before we launch something, introduce something, I ask myself, does this make sense? And when I say, does it make sense not only for me, does it make sense for somebody who lives in Indonesia, somebody who lives in China, somebody who lives in Australia, somebody who lives in Bangladesh, maybe Dubai? Because a lot of times people don't realize NFTs are international. So we have to do things that work for the whole world, not just for one person.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's a great advice. Are you ready for some fun questions? What's your favorite sports teams?
I do not have any more sports teams. I used to love the Lakers. I still love the Lakers, but I miss Kobe. I used to love the Dodgers, but my Dodgers get separated every year and divided, and all my favorite players go elsewhere. I'm a huge Rams fan. One of my friends is Matt Stafford and a couple other guys in the team. I know them pretty well and love the Rams. Huge Rams fan until they break them up, and I won't like the Rams anymore. It's hard to be a fan of sports teams because they're broken up. So back in the 90s and so on, teams would kind of stay together. If you remember the whole team with Kobe and LeBron and all the people that played together, or even Nick Van Exel or Byron Scott and all these guys, those are teams that stay together and they die together and they live together. And I love that.
As I get older, I feel you because same kind of thing. Like I kind of like following certain players and things like that. All right, so we got Haddy the Creator here, the creator of Apocalyptic Apes. Haddy, so like I just asked Billy before, how did you guys meet? So tell me how you guys met. So now I have both stories.
Uh-oh. We met just randomly through Discord. We were both kind of in the NFT grind. He was kind of promoting a project, and I was, trying to get involved as much as I could, any way I could. And what I was doing back then was I was joining any project that had any kind of art contest. I would see some posts on like Twitter and stuff doing art contests. Some of them had like whitelist giveaways. Some had like they gave you free NFT or they gave you some ETH or something like that. So I was kind of scouting for those. I was in Discord, and he messaged me and was talking about his server, his project that he was promoting. And I kind of let him know as an artist, and we just talked from there. And I basically, when I found out he was like one of the founders of the project, I asked him if there was like anything I could do to help out. I didn't expect to like be brought on the team or anything, but like if I could do, some sort of marketing materials or some additional artwork to kind of help drive hype or use in Twitter or like the website. And so, we got on a phone call that same night, actually, which was kind of weird for me. I'm not the extroverted type that Fitty is. But when he was like, hey, let's get on a phone call, gave me his phone number, I was okay, let's do this. And it was a little uncomfortable, but I'm glad I did. I'm glad we went forward with it because it was that the initial conversation that ended up sparking this whole thing. So that's how we met.
So, well, your story checked out. It was pretty much the same.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't remember who called who. I just remember you sent me your art, and and it was the Wasteland Warriors, and I dug that. And I'm usually not into that art, but and from somebody who's never really bought any art or expensive art, I've become a freaking art critic, which is really crazy.
You're a monkey critic now.
Well, what happened was one thing I didn't tell you. So I had all the stuff behind me. I had all the stuff that used to be called cash or money, and I don't know what to do with it anymore because nobody uses it.
It looks like Monopoly money to me.
No. I'm just converting it into Dogecoin and ETH now.
There you go.
All right, so Haddy, so I know being an artist is tough, especially like selling your art and things like that. So what has that been like to see so many people buying your artwork?
Yeah, it's so surreal because like you said, yeah, I've always been an artist, and I've tried so many different endeavors and tried so hard to build some kind of a following. Not like because I needed it, but just like to get to a point where it would like be able to sustain it, because I've always valued it. I always loved it, but I've had to be like a closet artist because, there's not a lot of money there.
Mhm.
When you tell people that you're pursuing art in college, it's usually like scoffed at, like, oh, good luck with your career. Like,
Yeah.
that it's not a lucrative career, and people don't see it as, oh, I'm going to be a lawyer. Like,
Yeah.
it's not, you don't get the same prestige from that. So yeah. And even for me, like, I had to take a corporate job,
Yep.
supported my family. I started having kids pretty soon after I got married. Um, so that was mandatory, but I always looked for creative jobs. Like, my first job was like a graphic designer, and then I got brought in for this big education company. And my understanding was I'd be doing creative work, but the corporate life kind of quickly evolved and changed, and I was more doing development work and front end, and the creative stuff just kind of dwindled out over the years. So yeah, I've always been this closet artist. So a couple years ago, I started a YouTube channel called Haddy the Creator. It's kind of, I mean, I've always had the nickname Haddy, but Haddy the Creator kind of spawned there. And I started doing YouTube videos weekly, just trying to do anything I could to be more creative, to not let that outlet or that part of me kind of die out, because just like anything else, like a muscle, you have to exercise it or it goes away. You can't look swole because you're worked out every day in your 20s the rest of your life. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's what I was doing. And I've kind of told people I thought it was a failure different times, which back then it felt that way, especially after doing it for a full year and barely getting any kind of traction, any subscriber base. I did get to 10,000, which is pretty amazing, and I was proud of that. But like the income from that was close to nothing. It was like $350, but I mean, I could have made more money flipping burgers for McDonald's for a week than what I made from YouTube for a whole year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was kind of frustrating, but at the same time, I felt like my drawing skill had gotten a lot better, a lot sharper. And it was after doing that for a year that I kind of started making this transition into crypto and NFTs. So it just kind of set me up perfectly for a slam dunk in this space.
Yeah, no, that's dope, because I feel you too, because like working in sports, and a lot of kids get sports management degrees and don't work in sports because there's like, it's hard to get jobs, and then they don't pay you a lot, and you have to take jobs, and then you might not get promoted and things like that. So definitely
Yeah.
feel you on that. And then how about some fun questions for you both? How did you guys both get your nicknames, Fity and Haddy?
So I have a really, really good friend of mine, and he actually looks like 50 Cent. So every time I'd go out somewhere with him, people would scream, Fitty, Fitty. And we were actually going to a Laker game about 2 years ago. My ear's disappearing. Wow. And somebody started screaming, Fitty, 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 and they chased us in a car. So I thought that was kind of funny that and he actually looks like 50 Cent, which is really funny. He really does. But I just didn't feel like going in here 50 cents enough. I feel that dude's poor. So we need to go to Fitty. That's how I got my name.
So people screamed it at you in the streets, and then
I just thought there was I just wanted something kind of cool, but I didn't like 50 cents. So I went with Fitty. It's a lot more.
And what is Fitty worth worth right now?
It's worth about 10, right under a CryptoPunk. That's how I know everything. I need 60 for a CryptoPunk. I still want to get a CryptoPunk. I don't know why, but I still want one.
Haddy came from my last name. My last name is Hadlock.
Yeah.
And so there's a time in my life where I was known by my last name. Basically, I was growing up like very Orthodox Mormon, and everybody knows the Mormon missionary. So I did the Mormon missionary thing. So I was known by my last name during that whole phase of my life. And from that, Fiddy's falling asleep over there. I was known as Hadlock, so in Hadlock, and people are always kind of looking for ways to shorten that. Haddy kind of spawned out of that, and different people actually lived in Puerto Rico. People in Puerto Rico with their accents would not know how to pronounce the full Hadlock. It's kind of an awkward name to say with the thick Spanish accent. Kind of Haddy spawned from there. And so that's where Haddy came from, and then I kind of used it as my online art avatar or persona per se. So Haddy.
Yeah, that's dope.
What's really not dope about his name is every time I try to call him, and his real name is Marcus, we could say that now, or for a long time, and I look at
I'm
my
totally
phone,
docs.
Yeah, I'm docs, and we all docs. Paul, I believe you're docs too. So when I go in my phone after I'm talking to him, I've been calling Haddy for so much, I'm looking for Haddy, and there's no Haddy in my phone, and it drives me crazy. Like I literally pick up my phone, like Haddy. Oh,
you know, it takes 2 seconds to change that nickname in your phone, right?
but then I wouldn't have the story if I came on here.
There you go. There you go.
Last one. Tell me something that you guys admire about each other.
Is it my turn to go first?
Yeah, absolutely. That depends on how good my compliment gets.
No, well, let's see if I get real deep and pull on some heartstrings, you might try harder.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding. So yeah, so when I first met Fitty, and we started talking, he was really, really charismatic. You know, like he's just amazing at talking to people, and I might even be mad at him sometimes because of a decision. Like I wanted to pull it one way, he pulled it another way, and you know, like things like that. Like sure, it's trading. We're running a business together in a lot of ways, and you know, we don't always agree on things, but he gets me on the phone, and I'm angry at him. And I'm trying to be upset at him because I don't know, my own self-gratification. I want to be angry at him for a minute. He gets me on the phone, and he just has a way of calming you down and you know, getting you not to stress, to kind of get rid of that anxiety. And then when we have these high pressure moments, he's really good at dealing with that. And I've been very impressed with how he deals with that. I'm the type that kind of gets more emotional and freaks out and says, "Oh no, what's going to happen? Like, this reveal is not coming out on time and people are stressed." Like that was kind of really stressful for me, and I get emotional and don't know how to deal with it very well. And he always calms me down, and he manages it very professionally, and he's, you know, just very good at handling those high stress situations. And that's been something that I've really been impressed with him too. So there's 2 good ones.
That's dope.
Billy? So I got to put a good one out.
Yeah.
So he's a decent artist. No, I'll tell you. So he's a great dad. He's an amazing artist, and one thing about him, he's super creative and detailed. And I am not creative and detailed. I do not even know how to draw an elephant. And he's a really nice person, and we have a super cool dynamic. Like I know what I want, and I'm able to tell him, and he's able to deliver that. And we always have this thing right before every time we go to lunch or something. He does something, I don't love it. He gets mad at me, he hangs up on me. And then I text him back and I say, okay, this is a good sign because now you hate me. In an hour, I'll get something amazing and it's going to look ridiculous. And we're going to sell this collection down to 30 minutes. And that's what happened with the Queens. That's what happened with the Apes. He has a way of listening to people, understanding what they're looking for and delivering that, which is insane. And I mean, his art is probably the best I've ever seen. And I mean, we were playing around where he drew like DJ Khaled, Oprah, just little drawings he did in 5 minutes, and they actually look just like them. I wish I could like find those and throw those out, but
they're somewhere in the Discord history.
Yeah, and that was so
just scroll for like 3 days.
Yeah, he has a talent of something I don't have. I do not know how to draw. I do not know how to put ideas on paper. So we have a perfect combo where I know how to deliver, I know how to sell something when it's a great product. When you don't have a great product, it's a big problem for a lot of people. I don't care if you're a car manufacturing, a toy store, clothing line, you have to have a great product. And Haddy can really deliver something cool. As a matter of fact, we're gonna do some breeding pretty soon. We're gonna make some babies. I'm really excited. I can't wait to show you guys what those are gonna look like because they're gonna be insane. Just think of cute baby apes. I mean, I'm already so excited about that. So, but the biggest thing, he's a good dad. He's a great dad.
Cute but apocalyptic, right? Cute but mutant.
Well, we're not saying that yet, but he's a great dad. He draws with his child. He's got a 10-month-old now, right?
Actually, I think he's like 7 months.
Well, he draws with his baby in his hand. He's a great dad. He came out. He's got 7 kids. He came out with his kids. I've got 3. We took 10 kids to dinner. He's a good person, and you know, when you have a good person and you've got talent, he's a great dad. He's a great husband. I mean, he's just a super nice guy, and I think that's important because I'm not that nice of a guy. I'll work hard. I'll make sure that people deliver when they have to, when they promise. I mean, I can be nice, but I'm also going to be stern. As a matter of fact, I believe about 98% of our team's gone because they didn't have faith in us. They didn't have faith in our art. They didn't have faith in our delivery. They didn't have faith in anything. So guess what? That's the one successful thing that Haddy understands and I understand. you have to do in business. You have to evolve. You have to stay with the times. You can't doubt yourself.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, I forgot to ask you also, like, tell me a little bit about your involvement with MetaDrag.
So Nikki, Stucky, Ito, Nikki Diamonds are my business partners. And even before I met Marcus, they came to me with this project, and they wanted me to start a project called Board of the Apes. And Board of the Apes is going to be like an incubator for safe projects. And Nikki, if you guys don't know Nikki Diamonds, he's partnered up with Chris Kardashian on the hot sauce. One of his best friends is Rob Kardashian. He's friends with Snoop Dogg. I mean, you name it. Like
Diamond Supply Company.
Yeah, Diamond Supply Company. So I'm really excited to be a part of that team, because a lot of the people in Apocalyptic Apes and Apocalyptic Queens ask me for a whitelist. I'm terrified to bring whitelists. I don't know these people. I don't know what they're going to do if they get into these projects. But when I have people like Nikki, or the other day we had Guy Osiri, who's Madonna's agent, pop in there to say hello. We had, Bobby from 100s. I mean, Nikki knows everybody, which is great. Yeah. So I feel like it's a really good space, and it's a really awesome thing. And Haddy will definitely be doing most of the art for future projects with us. So it's a great collab and a great partnership for us to have going forward, so we can bring legitimacy to the space.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait to see that project. And actually, if whoever listens to this, I'm going to be having Nikki Diamonds on that too, as for episode 175.
Whoa, awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, Nikki's been a friend of mine for a really long time. He's also my neighbor. He's also a super, super great guy. Like, if you don't know him, if you need something, he's there for you.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you coming on. And could you let the listeners know where they can follow you guys at?
You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at fity.eth, FITYETH. There's no dot on Twitter. They don't allow it.
You see how you flipped that? How to follow you guys, and you flipped it to.
Well, I'm going to let you say.
I'm just teasing you. Yeah, no, I was going to say there's apocalypticapes.com is our website. I'm just giving you a hard time. That's the main website. But if you want to go there, I recommend clicking the link in OpenSea just to be safe. I mean, unless you're a good typer and you're sure you put it in right. But there's quite a few copycat, false ones out there that have, bought in really unique and similar domain names and things. Just be careful, as crypto is. But yeah, we're on Twitter as well, Apocalyptic Apes. And we also have another Twitter account for our Queen Apes collection, which we just sold like a couple weeks ago. So yeah, check us out.
And what about your handle?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the Haddy, at the Haddy on Twitter.
There you go. Boom.
It's weird, man. I never used Twitter before, and now I'm like, that's all I use.
Well, you know what? The safest thing I want to add here for everybody who's listening. So there's been a lot of fake stuff going on, a lot of fake links. When you go on Discord, close your DMs. If your mom sends you a link, get rid of it. Don't click on links. If you want to find us on our project, go to apocalypticapes.com. And that's why I talk about Twitter. If you go to Twitter, I have a link tree. The Haddy has our Apocalyptic Apes site. You could also go through Discord, but if you do, just click on official links. Even if you get a DM from me or from Haddy or somebody on our team, most likely it's not one of us. There's been a lot of fake.
Spend a ton of time DMing people.
Yeah, a lot of fakies going on. So fity.eth is verified on Twitter, and so if you go, it's also not on Twitter. I'm sorry, on OpenSea. So if
both, man, both.
What's that?
I say you got that check mark on both, actually.
Do I have that on Fity already? On my Twitter?
I thought you did.
I don't think so, but let me check.
Oh, well, I'm a liar then.
You know what happened? You know what happened yesterday? A fake Stucky account followed me on Instagram. It was weird.
I saw that. Yeah. That's why I'm saying that, because a lot of people don't know you can get fake Instagram, you can get fake Twitter. Yeah. So if you get a DM from somebody and asking for your seed phrase, your wallet, don't do it. Yeah. Come ask somebody reach out to one of us. We'll answer you on just Twitter is a safer place to communicate through DMs.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Well, guys, I appreciate you guys having on, and obviously we'll be talking again, and looking forward to what happens next.
Cool. Thanks.
Thanks, Paul.